Somewhat heartbroken, and I wish they approve it. They address it on time.
Meanwhile, a Kwara State University student, Ganiu Munirat, advised applicants to pay close attention to the terms and conditions as loan defaulters cannot prevent the organization from not recovering the loans.
There's this the global standing instruction, that's GSI. We are giving consent if we don't make our repayments before it's due. We are giving consent. No fund can take out recover their money from any bank we have money, like any financial institution we have money.
The Nigerian Education Loan Fund is a significant step towards achieving inclusive education for all, but transparency, timely proper scrutiny are crucial in sustaining the program. Zainab Ogudokun, Agidigbo FM News.
The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Oluseyi Makinde, has said this government is creating many opportunities for women to take leadership roles in the state, just as he declared that his government has always been in support of initiatives and efforts that can help improve female participation in governance. The governor stated this when he received members of the TOS Foundation, who paid a courtesy visit to his office, noting that his administration would remain open to collaborations that can promote gender inclusion. Reacting to calls from the foundation to support the bill for reserved seats for women in elective positions, Governor Makinde said the challenges of imbalance in terms of women representation in governance must be approached with foresight, stating that he would support the cause but within a limited time limit. The TOS Foundation had earlier renewed calls for stronger legislative measures to increase women's participation in politics, urging the Oyo State government to support the reserved seats for women bill. The leader of the delegation, Mrs. Osasu Oguche, said women continue to grapple with underrepresentation, stating that women remain underrepresented in politics despite the progress we have made. Governor Makinde further assured the delegation that the proposal will be given due consideration, reaffirming his administration to maintain their operations. Agidigbo FM News correspondent Bolanle Badmos reports.
The continuous rise in fuel prices is taking a heavy toll on both transport operators and residents in Ibadan. Commercial drivers and private vehicle owners complain that the price hike has drastically increased their daily expenses, forcing them to raise fares to stay in business. However, passengers are also struggling to afford the new prices, leading to fewer trips and constant arguments over transport fares. Speaking with Agidigbo FM News, a motorcyclist at Iwo Road, Mr. Okunla Oluwatobiloba, said he now spends double on fuel, and despite charging higher fares, profit is minimal.
And we want pass through a lot.
Passengers complain severally about the price they bought bikes, and this isn't even our fault, but the price we also buy fuel now. We most times try to bring down the price we offered right, but the loss is always more than the profit.
Another resident, a trader at Iyanoja, Mrs. Yemisi Olakwade, said transportation is affecting her business profit because she spends much of her income on daily movements.
The transportation price in the country isn't bearable anymore. We don't even sell enough goods in a day, and from the little profit we have made.
On the other hand, many small business owners who rely on fuel power generators to operate now face a double challenge: higher transport and energy costs. Some shops open fewer hours per day just to save fuel, while others increase prices to cover expenses. A university student, Ainde Mustainot, shared that the situation has made movements within the city harder, as most students now trek or depend on friends for rides.
Transportation has been very, very difficult for us, we the students especially, because most times when we have class that we want to want to go to class each time, it's always a big problem. Not even now that petroleum is now very, very cost, and at times it's always scarce. So
residents are appealing to the government to find a sustainable solution to the fuel crisis and introduce policies that will stabilize prices. Experts also suggest the adoption of alternative energy sources like solar or electric vehicles to reduce dependency on petrol and make transportation more affordable. Until then, many Nigerians continue to adjust their lifestyle to cope with the realities of high fuel prices, hoping for lasting relief soon. Bolanle Badmos, Agidigbo FM News.
Welcome back. It is time to link up with our United Kingdom studio for the foreign news.
News from Agidigbo FM United Kingdom. I am Folashade Familusi. The United Kingdom government has announced asylum seekers will be banned from using taxis for medical appointment from February 2026. It comes after an investigation found some people had traveled long distance of 250 miles by taxis or minibus, costing the United Kingdom Home Office £600. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood said there are going to be changes as she was ending the unrestricted use of taxis by asylum seekers for hospital appointments. She further stated instead of taxis, asylum seekers in the United Kingdom should use public transport, exemption for people with physical disabilities, chronic illness, and pregnancy-related needs. President Donald Trump said on Friday he intends to grant a full and complete pardon to former Honduras President Joan Orlando, a move that would erase a major United States drug trafficking conviction for a one-time United States ally who is currently serving a 45-year federal prison sentence. The president's announcement comes as his administration has focused in recent months on what it has said is a counter-drug operation in the Caribbean. Following the announcement, Joan Orlando attorney thanked President Donald Trump and said they look forward to the triumphant return of former president to Honduras. That's the news from Agidigbo FM United Kingdom. I am Folashade Familusi.
Welcome back. We shall also be moving to our Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Kule Amzat studio, Agidigbo FM United States. I am Oluwatosin Soya. President Donald Trump has said he is canceling all orders signed by former President Joe Biden using an autopen, a mechanical device that reproduces signature. Biden signed 162 executive orders during his presidency, according to the American Presidency Project. It's unclear how many were signed using an autopen, though it's not unusual for presidents to revoke their predecessors' directives. Mr. Trump has already rolled back dozens of Biden's executive orders. The president rescinded nearly 70 of Biden's executive orders shortly after he was sworn in on January 20 for his second term, and another 19 on March 14, according to the White House. Mr. Trump previously ordered an investigation into the Biden White House use of the autopen to sign presidential documents like pardons, claiming there was a conspiracy to abuse of the power of the presidential signatures through the use of an autopen to cancel Biden's cognitive decline. In a July statement, Biden called Mr. Trump's claim nothing more than distraction. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Saturday that a delegation headed by Security Council Secretary Rustem Umerov was on its way to the United States to continue talks on an agreement to end Russia's war. Umerov has been put in charge of the Ukrainian delegation after the previous lead negotiator, Zelensky's powerful chief of staff, Andrew Yermak, resigned on Friday, hours after anti-corruption detectives searched his apartment. Zelensky said he expected that the result of previous meetings with the U.S. in Geneva, which took place last weekend, would now be hammered out on Sunday. Ukraine is facing significant pressure from Washington to agree to the terms of a peace deal, while Zelensky finds himself in most difficult political and military situation since the early days of Russia's invasion in 2022. And that ends the news from Koleamzat Studio, Agidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Soya.
Welcome back now to the exciting world of sport. Team Nigeria's amputee football team sets the ball rolling at the inaugural West Africa Para Games taking place in the sporting capital of Ogun State, Abeokuta. The amputee football match between Nigeria and Benin Republic was one of the major highlights of the opening ceremony held at the MKO Abiola Stadium. The Nigerian team dominated from start to finish defeating their opponent 11-0 to send a strong message to the rest of the competition. Earlier, all participating countries took part in a match past, and fans were treated to an exciting cultural display as Ogun State entered history books as the first ever host of the West Africa Para Games. President of the Africa Paralympic Committee, Samson Dane, who officially declared the Games open, thanked the Nigerian government and the Ogun State government for hosting the historic maiden edition. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of the headlines. President Tinubu lauds Nigeria's election into International Maritime Council. Makinde says government is creating opportunities for women to lead in the state. United Kingdom to ban asylum seekers from taking taxis for medical appointments. Ukrainian delegation heads to United States for peace talks after lead negotiators exit. First West Africa Para Games finally begins in Abeokuta as Nigeria defeats Benin Republic in amputee football.
Don't forget that you can listen to us live on our website www.agidigbo887fm.com. You can also download our mobile app on the Google Play Store and iOS. Simply search for Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Follow us on Facebook at Agidigbo 88.7 FM, on Twitter and Instagram at Agidigbo 887 FM, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have news stories and tips for us, contact our newsroom on 070-8714-4865 or send us a mail on newsroom@agidigbo887fm.com.
Welcome back, and before we go this evening, here is a quick tip. Teamwork is the secret that makes common people achieve uncommon results. Finally, we have come to the end of the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Bowale Akinbode. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information is power. At Agidigbo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State government has said the over 1.5 million out of school children.
We give you reports from Oyo State.
The Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation.
The Southwest in Nigeria and the rest of the world.
Has clarified that the body did not receive any cash support from international development.
Trust us to keep you informed every hour, every day.
Agidigbo 88.7 FM.